Hello guys, welcome to another video in the series of coding. Today we have with us a problem that is called incremental memory leak. So let's go over to an example to understand this. So we have two variables. Let's say this is memory 1 and let's say this is memory 2. So we have to find the time at which this is going to crash. How can we find that? So let's start from beginning. So what we are going to do, every second we are going to, or every minute, whatever you want to call it, we are going to keep a count. So when I equal to 1, one memory bit will be taken away from the biggest. Okay, so here 11 is greater than 8, so from here we will remove one memory bit and we will be left with 8 comma 10 because one bit has been taken away from 11. Okay, let's go forward to the next time. So in the next time interval, when I equal to 2, we see again 10 is larger than 8. So this time I is 2. Two memory bits will be taken away from 10. So we are left with 8 comma 8. Now when both are equal, it is given in the question that one when in the case both are equal, you will just take away the memory bit from the first memory variable. So 3 memory bits will be taken away from 8, so we will be left with 5 comma 8. Okay, let's go forward to the next time interval. In the next time interval, I is equal to 4, so 4 memory bits will be taken away from the biggest variable, which is 8. 8 is larger than 5, so in this case we will be left with 8 minus 4, which is 4. Okay, now we go forward to the next time interval in which I is equal to 5. So in this case, 5 is larger than 4. So 5 minus 5 is 0. So we are left with 0 comma 4. Let's go forward to the next time interval I equal to 6. Now you can observe that here the program is going to crash because you cannot take away 6 from 4, right? So you cannot take it away because 4 is smaller than 6. So we can't have a negative number. So that is why this program is going to crash. So finally you have to return 6, which is the time when it is crashing, and the bits that are left, which are 0 and 4. So this you have to return in the form of a vector. So it's actually a simple question. Let's just start coding it, and let me just zoom it a little bit so that when we write the code, more area is visible. So you have to just remove bits one by one. Okay, and finally you have to return answer in the form of a vector. So let me declare vector int answer that we are going to return, and let's start iterating. So let's just iterate. I'm giving the while loop, and for each time interval we can represent by, let's say, the variable t. So t is representing the time interval. Initially we start from t equal to 1, and then we keep on incrementing t at each particular step. So I'm giving t plus plus. So while this while loop runs, first t is 1, then it will become 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and so on. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to check. So the check condition will be if memory 1 is greater than equal to t, or let's say memory 2 is greater than equal to t. That means if we can still remove enough bits from the available memory, then we will remove the bits. Okay, otherwise if we are not able to remove the bits, then what will we do? That means we have reached the end, or we have crashed our program. So this else condition refers to the crash case. So in this case, what we will have to do, you will have to just simply uh, push back all the variables. Like first you have to push back time in the answer vector, the current time, then you have to push back the current value of the memory 1 variable, and then you have to push back the value of the memory 2 variable, and then you can finally simply return answer. Okay, now let's fill the if case. So if memory 1 is greater than t, or memory 2 is greater than equal to t, in that case you are having sufficient memory to remove. Okay, so sufficient, let me write it here, sufficient memory to remove. Now in this case, from which variable will you remove, from memory 1 or memory 2? So for finding that, you will have to give a case if memory 1 is greater than memory 2. Okay, or the case when memory 1 is, let's say, equal to memory 2, right? So both the cases you have, whenever both the cases are true, okay, either of the cases true, so you can in fact give greater than equal to here itself. Okay, you need not give or cases, I just gave that for a little bit detail. So if memory 1 is greater than equal to memory 2, in that case what you have to do, you have to subtract the variable t. That means you are removing that particular memory uh, bits from this variable. Otherwise you can just remove it from the second variable. So that's it. And since this program expects we return something, so in the end we will return answer here also. But actually, during the program while it is running, here itself our answer will get returned. But if I don't give this last line, you will get an error because the program expects some return. So let's run this. So this is fine, and let me just submit and see if it's fine. So it's accepted. That's it. Thank you for being patient and listening.